sunrise. I fear no evil, no, not in this life or eternal. 'Cause I roam these halls, chasing after souls who taking their last breath but can't find their way home. Oh, I'm talking to ghosts, hidden from the earthly eyes of most. I'm talking to ghosts. Oh, I'm talking to ghosts. I pray for mercy, come down on me. I've seen the devil face to face. He cracked a smile as he walked away. Now I roam these halls, chasing after souls who've taken their last breath but can't find their way home. Oh, I'm talking to ghosts.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Please go over and like Full Spectrum Universe. Also go over and follow Ghost Sisters.
And Chics and Spirits, and stay spooky with Chics and Spirits podcast page.
So tonight, you guys, we have a very special team with us, another all-female team. And these ladies are awesome. They're spooky chicks. And we've actually been on their podcast before, and we had a good time. So I know tonight's going to be awesome. So ladies, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Heather. I'm the founder of Chics and Spirits. And next to me is my future daughter-in-law, Callista. I just spoke. Hi. And then my co-founder on the other side
is Kelly.
Kelly, there we go. So yeah, we have an all-girl group. We got about 9 of us in the group, 9, 10. I could be wrong the number. You know what I mean? So yeah, we just we host a lot of haunted tours at different locations. We go to a lot of different places and, do our own stuff. And then we also run, the 3 of us run Stay Spooky. So that's our podcast. It was once on Blog Talk, and that's when you guys came on with us, and we had some pretty interesting experiences. And then we moved it over to video after I kind of did this, what does everybody like, radio or video? And everybody went with video. So then a network, keep up the chatting, keep on chatting. I'm sorry, network from the UK. They're UK based. Had us come on board with them. So now we've been doing that, and I love the video podcast, but I kind of like the radio because I didn't have to put makeup on. It was nice.
So Kelly, what about you, Kelly? How'd you get started?
Well, Heather and I, we've been, best friends for years, and we used to just go out and do our own thing and go ghost hunting. And then she had suggested, why don't we make this into a thing? We kind of talked about it. And then one day she just decided that she was going to make a group and, threw it at me. What do you think? And I'm like, oh, that sounds wonderful. She came up with the name. Her son came up with the logo, and then it kind of started from there.
Yes, we have to give my son that credit, or we will be murdered.
Yes, so.
So how long have you ladies been, investigating how many years, or would you say?
As a group, or just me and Heather?
Well,
either one.
Well,
okay.
we've always kind of been into this. So me and her have been doing this for years. But as Chics and Spirits, we're over 2 years now doing this. So 2018. So yeah, we got that together. So yeah, it was pretty exciting. And we just, got some girls and we're like, let's look up some urban legends in the area. Let's go out and do all that. And we did, and we had a really great time. And my theory is let's just keep doing this and bring more people to have this experience. And that's where this all started coming from. And then we got into doing the tours, which I really enjoy, because then I get to see other people that, want these experiences, have always had stories, and they actually have a place to go to, and it's fun for them. And it's like a different night out, and I love it. People have a great time. They make great memories. So doing the haunted tours is a really big part of what we do. So it's been exciting.
Who came up with the logo? Because I love your logo. That is
My son.
pretty cool. So
My
he gets all the credit for the logo, and who came up with the name? Him?
The name, actually, my husband came up with the name. So he was just like, why don't you guys call yourself this? You're chicks and you like to drink wine. And he came up with that logo. So
I know, right?
the men came up with all this stuff, and then I just ran with it. Like, okay, sounds great, but make sure I give them their credit. So,
I see.
yeah.
Huh.
But it's good. It's been good. It's been a nice run. It's, we just have a good time. That's all. And we're, different things coming up. I mean, with COVID, of course, we slowed down a little bit, but I think everybody kind of did. And, but hopefully everything will get better and we'll start picking up and doing more investigations, maybe come out and see you guys soon.
We got to take you girls to the shrine. We got to have an all-female night at the shrine. I mean,
I agree. I still think about that off and on. As crazy as that sounds, you know how like sometimes periodically you go to bed and you have just those random thoughts that pop in your head? That is one thought that constantly pops in my head randomly. I mean, at least twice a month, I'm like, I wonder about that shrine. I wonder if they still have that shrine. I wonder what's going on. Like, just the pictures that you guys shared and the information, and like, oh, I want to go there so bad.
Yeah.
Is anyone gifted?
I'm sorry, is anybody what?
Is anybody here gifted on your team?
I mean, everybody has, like, we don't label anybody. Like, we don't have anybody that's labeled. Everybody has their own, sensitive, they pick up on things, but as like, do we have a medium, a psychic? No, we just have women that are in tune, open. And when we go to locations, we just, do our best to, communicate with the spirits how we do. But no, we don't have any, but we do have a lot of people that are sometimes you never know. Like sometimes the girls will say stuff, myself, and we come up with things, who knows? But as labels, no.
Awesome. What is your most, what would you say is the most spookiest investigation that you ever had?
Kelly, you want to take this or?
I don't know that I've really been
The scariest?
afraid. I haven't ran into anything as far as an investigation is concerned that's made me afraid. I don't think I get afraid. I can't think it's happened to me outside of investigations that have terrified me, but as far as an investigation, I really haven't. Now, Heather has something run at her, so yeah.
Well, I was at the Detroit 6th Precinct, and we were investigating with Detroit Rock City brought us in with them, and Matt Warner came into town, and we were all investigating the 6th Precinct, and me and Little Dove was, we were going down into the basement where the gun range was, and 4 police officers committed suicide in this area. So I was doing lives, most of the night, and I started to try to go and do a live. Now, being that it's a basement and this is it's historical. So there's like that gravel on the floor, you know what I mean? Like dirt and stuff like that. So I'm trying to go into the room, and they were next door in the gun range doing a spirit box. And so I'm trying to go live and my phone wouldn't connect as we were walking in. So I start hearing in the back of this room that we were in, this shuffling across the floor. And I'm like, what is it? And I thought somebody was in there, and I'm like, who's in here? And next thing you know, the shuffling starts running at me. You see like a shadow, and I literally almost knocked her right on her ass because I was like, we almost like fell out of the door because I was like, it's fight or flight. I'm running, you know what I mean? So this thing is running at me. I'm running away, and like we almost fall out, and that other group, they're like, are you guys okay? And I'm like, yeah, something just ran at me. They're like, okay, that's perfectly normal for us, It's like, oh, cool. Like, but it was like very like it was jarring and scary because it was like running,
We had that too. We had that too, Heather. We went to the funeral home, and Mandy and I were going down the steps, and it was charging up at us.
Oh, wow.
And Mandy just kind of turned around and kind of pushed me. We were only like 3 steps down, and she pushed me up the steps because it was. You could hear it, and when it did it started out with it started out on 4 feet, and then it went up to 2 feet. And then that was a night that I got slapped because I came home the next day and I was like, "What's wrong with my face?" And my whole face was swollen, and I had a scratch inside my skin.
Oh.
And then my face was swollen. It was red. And then I went back to the funeral home a couple weeks later, and we asked on the ink box. We said who hit Jennifer, and he said I did. He said I slapped her.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Wow.
As soon as he came upstairs and we turned around, he slapped me.
Tell them about the EVP, what we heard on the EVP. Well, the recording. I had left a recorder down in the basement, and playing it back, you hear 2 different voices. You hear this man. He sounds really like mean and just grumpy. What did he say? I can't even remember. What was it he said?
The one guy said, "Hello, ladies," in a real nice voice, and the other guy said, "Get out of my home."
Yeah. Oh, it was scary. I turned around, ladies, and I ran up them. I about ran Jenny over. I ran up them so fast. I mean, it was like you said, fight or flight, and that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
Jenny ran one way. She ran one way. I ran the other, and I ran to my sister's. And she ran the opposite direction.
And that's when it slapped me.
Oh no! Yeah, no.
Wow.
What about?
And did you physically feel the slap? Like
I did not. But see, what happened was after that, Mandy said, "Why is your eyes watering?" Because it wasn't fear. It was just all of a sudden, I guess when he slapped me, he hit my eye duct, and he made my eyes water. And then the next day I woke up and I was laying in bed and I was thinking, why does my face hurt so bad? And then my whole face was messed up on this side.
Wow. Oh yeah. I'm running. I am big.
Oh yeah. I'm never going back. Like something attacks me, hits me, I'm done. That's it. I'm not going back.
We had to go collect our cameras and stuff, and we were like, oh my God, I almost did not want to go back down there. So I got my sister Bobby Joe, and I got Chastity and Jenny. I'm like, we got to go down here together and get our stuff. So, I mean, this was probably 10 minutes after all this happened. We ended up going down there and getting everything, and everything was fine. But the crazy thing was when we were heading down them stairs, when it was just me and Jenny, I heard with my own ears those 2 guys say what they said to us. But I didn't know I captured it on the recorder too. So that just validated because I heard this thing coming at us. I mean, it was charging. It was charging. And then I heard the guy, and that's when I bolted. I was like, nope. And I was doing isolations in that basement by myself.
No. Yeah, sometimes, I mean, it's just like, because I've been at Eloise Mental Hospital, and I've been by myself sitting in there, and I felt fine. You know what I mean? But then you get that one spot, like the 6, and when something runs at you, I'm out of there. Like, and I still go back to the 6, but it's like that moment I was a little like, hell no. So,
I would be more hesitant to go down that basement now by myself.
I probably wouldn't go by myself. But what's yours, little Doug?
So we were at a residential, and I went to get up we were sitting down in the basement, and I went to get up, and I felt like I just completely froze. Like my body couldn't move. So I started like freaking out, and that was I had never like cried like that in front of people and stuff. So it was very scary.
Yeah,
actually.
I was actually recording at the time, and she gets it, and literally there was a light like very close to her. You know what I mean? Like it was right up on the stairs, and we were in the dark, and she's like, I'm gonna get out of here right now. I don't feel right. And so she gets up, and all of a sudden she just stops. And I said, what are you doing? And then she couldn't move, and I said, do you need a light? Like the light's right there. Why are you walking? Go, like, are you okay? And then all of a sudden she just starts busting out crying. So now, this is my future daughter-in-law. What happened? My son's gonna kill me. So I jump up and I'm like, are you okay? She's like, I can't move. And it's like, so my aunt is a psychic, and I reached out to her, and she's always says like, if that something happens like that where you're stunned and you have like a jumper or something like that's happening to you. And finally
Yes.
she was able to move, and it like let her go,
Mhm.
and she got out and she never returned back to it.
Nope.
We did that. We were
I never went back at
we
all.
were in there 26 days. We were
Yeah.
in that residential working on it, and she never. She's
One
like,
and done.
done, never coming back. And I'm like,
I was
and
done.
I like me, I'm like, yeah, please, because if something happens to you, like I said, my son will not be too thrilled with me. So, like, this crazy mom. So I'm like, yeah, like, but she was very. Even the recording of it was so scary. I was like, oh my God, like hearing her cry. I was like,
I've never cried like that in front of people.
So the spirit was making you feel almost like how they would have felt at that time. You were
Yeah.
kind of feeling that emotion, whatever the spirit was making. It was making you feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, and she
It
was
was
stuck.
scary.
She was frozen, like glued to that one spot. She couldn't move, and it was just like, I mean, I couldn't even move her. I was like, hey, and it took a minute to finally get her to move. I mean, it seemed like forever, but it was only a short period of time.
Yeah.
But it was still like very scary.
Mm-hmm.
Very
That
scary.
happens to me a lot because I had Octagon Mansion. That lady was strangled, and I had to go off the live feed because I felt the strangling in my throat.
Oh.
And then I had at the shrine, I was at the portal table, and this witch, Mandy says, half your face looks like you, and the other half looks like a witch.
Oh
And-
wow.
She was
that's
like
right.
looking distorted. Like I'm
Yeah.
looking at Cindy like, are you all right? I'm like,
boy.
you don't look like yourself. I'm
And
like,
then last week when we went to the shrine and went to the county jail down there in Greensville, and the same thing happened. When I thought it was the two male spirits inside the cell, but it ended up being one of those spirits ended up raping and beating a woman. And when I was in the cell by myself, I felt like someone was punching me, not stabbing me, but punching me in my stomach. And then I felt like I was having a heart attack, and then I was coughing real bad when I came out. So that happens to me a lot. I seem to end up feeling what
They feel.
the person that got hurt felt. Yeah,
That's gonna take a lot out of you.
Mm-hmm.
it does, because when a spirit comes in a room, I get a convulsion feeling, and when they're on top of me, like I have one roaming around behind me right now. It's a little Indian girl. She stays here a lot. When they come up on me, I get like thousands of needles through my body. So my nervous system kicks up. And then at the end of the night and next day, my whole body hurts because my nervous system's kicking up and down all night.
Right.
And it's like thousands of needles just stabbing me all over.
But we do this for fun. This is what we do for fun, though, right?
Right?
You ladies feel that being women, like the spirits are really drawn to us because we're real sensitive.
Yeah.
You guys, do you
Agree with
feel like
that.
you get like really good evidence when you're out there investigating?
We do. I feel like we do. I feel like, I mean, we investigate with men too, and they get great stuff too. But just, I feel like, and nothing against men, but women, you have that motherly, sometimes, that you're open to things, you're more sensitive. So sometimes you can take in their emotions a little bit better, possibly sometimes, maybe that's it. But I don't know. You know what I mean? But we seem to do really well.
Do you feel like the children spirits come to you more often?
We actually have we went on a water investigation, and this is really interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And we did, we were out on the water because how much stuff happens on the water. And one of our teammates at the time, suggested that we go out on the water. And I was like, that's a really good idea. Even though it was kind of scary. I know Kelly wanted to, she did not want no part of this water, but she did good though. She did good. So we go out on this water investigation, and it was daytime when we were out there, and we're doing like the Estes method. So she had the headphones on, the noise canceling headphones, and we're kind of in the back doing spirit, not spirit box. She was hooked up to it. So we're asking the questions. So we get to where we're asking a question, and all of a sudden, and the water was very calm. We were calm on the water, but she starts going, Mom, Mom, Mommy, and the boat literally starts rocking. Okay. And we're like, okay. So then it settled down. We're doing it again. And she starts yelling out, Mom, Mom, Mommy again. The boat starts going like this again. And then it did this 3 times. And the third one, it almost knocked me right out of the boat. It was going up, and she was, Mom, Mom, Mommy again. And I'm like, take that off of her. Like, I'm about to fly in the water, because it was literally, I mean, Kelly, right? I mean, that was That was crazy.
It was like it would be completely calm, and then as soon as she'd start saying, mom, mommy, I mean the boat's rocking, which is why I didn't want to go on the water to begin with. So it's rocking crazy, and then it would like calm down, and then she'd start, and then we'd ask more questions, and then it would start doing it again, mom, and the boat's just rocking, and like she said, at one point it almost threw her out. But, it's not throwing me out because I'm not standing. I'm down. I was
down
the whole time,
like this,
like corner.
Yeah,
water's not my thing. I mean,
it was interesting to go out on the water like that. I mean, you think about water and just the activity that water brings, and
water is a kinetic energy source.
So it's very like I would like to do that again and be on the water, but maybe a bigger boat.
Yeah,
a normal clothes.
We were kind of like in a fishing type of boat, so it was a little like smaller. It was a nice boat though, but it was just like for my comfort level of, because then they're researching and they're like, oh my God, there's been like 1,700 people that died, right? And I'm like, man, you all need to get me back to shore. Like, just like, because this is like, this could happen right now. I mean, we could just flip in the water and that's it. So that was kind of like, had a real dangerous side to it. But
so what did you guys, what kind of evidence you guys pick up out there?
We picked up that, and then we were doing a lot of the Estes method out there. So we had a lot of activity with, but I mean, you kept getting the kid coming through, right?
Yeah, that was a little boy voice like the whole time. And usually it's like different voices that come in and out, but it was actually, that was a really crazy experience.
Yeah. So it's just
we
like,
didn't do as far as, much like we didn't get anything as far as like pictures or camera evidence or anything like that, but I don't think we were out there long enough. And I think we need to have different type of equipment that you can maybe submerge in the water, or you know what I mean?
Right.
So going back and
bringing our
doing
REM pods out there and anything that we're going to get wet. So we're just going out there. Let's see what we get, but keep our electronics to a minimum. So if we were on a bigger boat, that we can store this stuff a little bit better. Some that have like the bedrooms and stuff. I think it would be a really good investment. You should all do that.
That would be awesome. It would be. I would be like, no, we're getting so much activity. Let's stay. Let's not go. Now, Chastity, she'd be like, no, let's go. I could just go. Now, what is your favorite piece of equipment that you guys like to use?
Go ahead, Kelly. You can start this one.
Oh, Jesus. My favorite. It's changed over time. I like the dowsing rods. As far as like electronic equipment, I would have to say like a U-Pod or a REM pod. Those, just because it's an indication, like I know there's something there, you know what I mean, that's interacting with me. And then just your basic camera, you know what I mean? As far as, it's interesting because when you have a camera and you're taking footage, it's almost like I don't see a lot. And then I start to review it. And then I'm like, oh my God, that's a crazy big orb that just flew. Like I didn't see it. You know what I mean? So I like that. But I would have to say the dowsing rods more than anything, just because it's almost like when you're using them, you can kind of feel it taxes me out a lot. Like I feel like I can't breathe a lot. My energy, I can feel that I'm getting weak.
Wow.
You can feel, like it's really hard for me to do the dowsing rods because
use your energy.
Yes, I tell them you can use my energy, and they do. So I usually, when we go investigating, I get sweet tarts, and I eat a lot of like sweet tarts to try to give me like that sugar energy.
You want to lift vibrations up high. I see what you're doing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I can just, I feel, so I know that what I'm getting is truthful. Although I can't see it, I can't feel it. I don't have, I'm not a psychic. I'm probably sensitive to energy. Like I feel like there's a lot
Like
that follows me. But I just don't. I'm afraid to tap into it, so I just don't. I'm afraid of it. So
Tap into it, girl.
kind of that fear.
Tap into it.
I am terrified.
Tap into it. You tap into that, it's a whole nother experience. Let me tell you, it is a little scary, but all the evidence you can get and the things you'll hear and you might see, it's scary, but I mean, look what we do. We're in the scary business here.
Right, which I wonder why I do this. I'm like, isn't being a nurse enough? Like, why do I gotta, I must be addicted to that fight or flight, that, you know what I mean? That adrenaline. I have some kind of adrenaline addiction.
Well, I get it because I'm law enforcement, so.
Yes. So you get it. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny that there's a comment that just came through that says, Kelly, there's a spiritual of a little girl on your right side. Every time we do a podcast, somebody picks up something in Kelly's house.
I try to ignore all this, and then they tell me this stuff and I don't sleep at night. Like, and I got to get up at like 2:30 and, dark 100, you know what I mean, to get ready for work because I got to be to work at 6. And so I'm not sleeping all night long and going to work with no sleep and terrified because I'm like, I feel anything that touches my foot, anything that I hear, I'm like on high alert all night long,
I think something's going on at her apartment, like this, where she's staying at, because even neighbors have complained of activity over there. So I think it's something going on over there. So
you guys need to
her name is Emily. Where did she come from? Are these like things that are attaching to me when I do these investigations? Or is it like in my home?
I mean, it's hard to say. It could be in your home. They could be following you from these investigations.
We have them follow us. I mean, we've had some situations they followed us, and I had a bad energy, negative energy. It followed me home from the funeral home, which is the same location I got hit at. And it made me angry and depressed and really mad for a few days. And actually, Secret James is an amazing guy. And he actually contacted me and said, Jennifer, there's a negative hanging with you. And he helped me take care of it.
Wow.
He's great with that.
Okay, so Secret James, can you tell me like what I need to do to make this go away?
I thought because we were just up at Sadillac is a new location that we're hosting.
Kelly, is in your home not negative?
And
most of what I get is not. I don't ever feel a negative energy. I'm just afraid of it. Like, I don't want to communicate with it. I don't want to acknowledge it.
We don't like it in our houses. Like, we just wanted to not be in our houses, but
right.
I agree.
You call on it and you're telling it to use your energy, Kel. But like I was saying, like, we went to Sadillac and we were just hosting a tour, and I came back and I've never had this here I feel pretty safe. I don't know. Some people say they don't feel safe at my house, but I think it's just my spooky stuff freaks them out. But I'm walking out of the bathroom, out of the shower the other day, and literally there was like a shadow, like I thought it was a man standing, and I jumped back and I was like, oh Lord. And I went to my room and shut the door, and I felt eyes on me, and I'm like, oh no, did I bring something here? So I started saging and I'm doing everything I need to do. Cause I'm like, no, not here, not here, not here.
That's how I feel, Heather. Cause I feel like this is our sacred place, our sacred space. And this is our escape to get away from that when we go and investigate.
Yes.
So at your home, you want that downtime, that calmness around you. You don't want that. But I've had more than several in my house. And the little Indian girl, I've got to tell you, I was coming home the other day, and she was with me in my car. And I contacted Jimmy from Outlaw Paranormal, and he put his portal box on. And we connected with her. And Seeker said her name was White Dove or Shanoa. He was getting both names. Come to find out, she comes in her portal box. She says her name was White Dove. And I said, are you in my back seat? And she said, yes. And I said, okay, we're almost home. And she goes, home. And I said, you get out of the car now. She goes, I'm out of the car.
Wow.
It was as plain as day. And I was like, okay, let's go in the house. So she comes and goes. My land I had an Indian camp in my backyard. So my entire land is residual energy. And
Wow.
I've had a couple little Indian girls come and stay with me. I have one
love
that was
to do that.
9.
I would love to.
I'd love to come sit on your property.
Yeah.
Sit at your house. I won't even turn a spirit box on or anything in my house. If I test something, I wait to get the location. I won't. I freak out. I'm like, no, I don't want to call nothing. Bring nothing out.
That's why I'm so
Always welcome.
out, because I'm afraid it's going to turn on in the middle of the night.
Always welcome here. All is welcome in my house, and there's a lot of spirits here.
Oh, I know
have
you
seen
got
them,
stuff over there, Mandy.
but I have nothing negative.
You're having like buffets for them, and you guys are doing cookouts. Like,
I'm gonna have a little bed in here for them.
She has a lot of them in her house, but I think when she also does readings, so I think some of hers maybe when she's pulling in the readings, when they're coming in from the reading, that maybe some of them aren't leaving right away, and they're kind of hanging with her. But then she's got all of her haunted items too at her house. She just took Daniel home as a little boy that's 10.
And I love him. He's sweet.
He's probably the one that's over your left shoulder right now.
I felt him. That's why I was like,
It's a ghost party at Mandy's.
that's what I'm saying. Mandy has a ghost party.
You do get used to it, though. You get used to it.
I've had because I also like have haunted dolls that I collect and stuff like that. So I bring this stuff into my house, and then I'm like wondering why there's a shadow person standing there. And I'm like, oh my God, why? It's like, maybe if I stop messing with things, but you just deal with it. I mean, sometimes when I'm by myself, you feel them eyes on you. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about, and you just know you're being watched. It's obvious, and you're just like, because I don't feel like that. I'll be fine. I can walk in the dark, because I'm not scared of the dark or anything like that, but it's like that moment where you just feel it, and all eyes are on you. You're like, nope.
well, I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of what's in the dark. Now, let me tell you. I'm one of these people that will sleep with a blanket over my head in the dark because I do not want to see.
Oh my God, that's me.
That's how you sleep at the shrine, Mandy. When I look over at you at the shrine, your whole head's covered up. I was like, how does she breathe?
Seeker James.
Yeah, I was actually had an experience happen to me where I was so freaked out, and then my defense was the blanket over the head. I was like, now I'm force field over, and nothing can touch you with the blanket over the head. It's like I'm safe now.
I know it's like my little safe thing.
We all get a lot of visitation, though. I get a lot of visitation in my house from my brother and my aunts and my grandma, and I have many witch ancestors that come and visit me. I had a 100-year-old witch ancestors here a while back, and they come and go. I have like 6 spirit witch guides, so you get used to it. I mean, you don't know who is beside you, but it's amazing though, because a little girl, I can learn her energy. When I talk to Secret James, he can let me know she's here, and I eventually learn what her energy is. And like last night when she came up on me, energy was so intense, and I tried to get her to touch my hand last night, but she didn't do it. So I'm trying. I talk to her all the time.
When you open yourself up like that, and I think when I'm home, I really close myself up. You know what I mean? Where it's like I don't want to, but like it happens anyways. Like there's times where things happen, and you just have to, like, I'm a big number person, so I pay attention to like the sequence of numbers that are coming out, and so when I do open up and I start paying attention to the signs, then they start like flying at me, and it's just like, okay, someone's trying to communicate with me. Let me, and like I said, my aunt's a psychic, and my mother was a psychic. My sister is medium. I mean, so there's a lot of gifts in my family. So my aunt, she's been telling me, Heath, you need to stop closing it up and open it up. So when I do, and she's all with the messages received, make sure you just blurt them out, because, and I said, well, sometimes it don't make sense. And she says, but it may to somebody else in the room. So I try to do that now, and I'm just like, and something will come up and I'll say it, and it might sound crazy, but I'm just like, it's a message received. I have to say it because it just like pops in your head. And it's very interesting, like when you do open yourself up and these things start to happen. So I try to pay attention to certain things now and not be like, nope.
Secret James just said that my little white dove is on my right-hand side. So, hey, all 3 of us have had spirits around us so far.
See, but me with the spooky room, we're clean. We're good. You guys just need all this crazy stuff around you, and then you stay safe. And then watch them come up and say, no, you have a devil behind you. I'll be like, oh, grab me. Go no.
Do you guys like to use your the dolls and stuff for trigger objects when you're out there investigating? Do you take them?
Yes, we take our dolls with us as we you know, I've always had dolls my whole life. Like my mom had dolls, so I had dolls, and you know, my kids were always so scared of them. Like they're like, "What are you, these creepy dolls?" And it's like, whatever. My son said I threatened him with them, but I don't remember that. But whatever. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do when you're parents. But so I've always had these dolls around, and they just seem like certain areas sometimes because you know, children, you know, will maybe interact with them. So we like to do a lot of different things when we come to like trigger objects. Like if we know we're going somewhere, sometimes I'll be like, you know, why don't somebody, I mean, even our new location, we have a singer that is in she does hospice singing, like she sings for a music therapist. So we like, for example, when we went to this music theater, we put her on the stage and we were like, sing it, sing, and basically she trigger object herself. But it was very interesting watching her because she was, and it made me nervous for a second. You know, you do risky stuff sometimes, and when your teammate is basically the trigger object, you got to be careful with that. Sarah's on right now. Hi, Sarah. Hi,
Who's
Sarah.
the little children playing behind who? Seeker James.
Don't say me, Seeker James.
It's your turn, Heather.
No. So she's on this music stage and she's singing this, you know, beautiful song. But then her face, it's like she changed, and I'm watching her, and she takes this stance, and it was very odd to me. And I literally like I'm recording her, and I'm going up on the stage because to me, I'm having a vision of her running out off the stage. So that's what I'm seeing right now. I'm seeing her just diving off the stage, and I'm like, no, I got to get up there to her. So I go up to her, and she's singing this high, you know. And finally, I had to like break it up. I'm like, hey, you know, and she come back, and she's like, hey, and you could tell she wasn't there. Yeah. And then when we replayed the clip, she said, Mother, I've never sang that note before ever in my life. So it was like somebody like used her as a vessel to sing their song. You know what I mean? And it was such an amazing, crazy moment for her, but it did make me nervous for a moment that I was like, let me grab this girl because I don't want her just now. I don't know if the person that's singing committed suicide here or what the story is, but I got to grab my teammate to make sure she's okay and kind of break her from what, you know, because I want to get evidence, but I want to keep them all safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy. And just watching her stance, like she made her fist out and she just like turned. It was very, and I was like, ooh. That's not her.
Well, I remember about that because she was like looking off into the audience, like there was an audience.
Yeah, it was like
she was really performing it, and I'm like, oh, what's happening?
It was. We all got a little shook. We were kind of just like, oh God, and then I'm like, oh Lord, you know. But when you test different things and you know you do these things and you go to these places, you want to inhabit what happened there, what was going on there, and you want to kind of formulate something to trigger that, to get them to interact, to remember where they were at. And then they maybe will share that story with you, or they want to experience it again. And you get that playback. And it was an amazing experience, scary because I was worried for her, but it was amazing.
What an experience though, you know?
Yes, it was.
So do you guys, do you always like to try new things when you're out there investigating? Do you have like a certain way do you have like a game plan, like before you guys go? Are you like, okay, this is what we're going to do. You're going to go here. I'm going to go over here. Do you do any isolations? I mean, what is your game plan?
When we do tours, of course, we're more organized. When we do tours, we have a set thing now. Hi, Sarah. Yeah. So hi, cute. Victoria. Let me give a shout out to Victoria, little Victoria. She's got a birthday coming up. Hi, Victoria. So yeah, but our tours are more organized when we do that. But when we go on our own, we like to. Not everybody likes to research where we're going. I kind of do because then I like to be like, okay, you know, see about what we're going to use for a trigger item. But we're pretty much like. We get in there, everybody kind of feels it out, and then they decide what they want to do. Sometimes we isolate, well, you know, do the Estes method. The girls really seem to love. I mean, I've had some crazy experiences with that myself. I don't do that no more just because, like, I mean, I felt like when I was doing it before, there was a spirit on my back. Like literally, I had to go to a chiropractor. My neck was so sore. It was
she
just
was like hunched over, like
yeah,
it
was a crazy experience. So I was like, I don't really want to do that one, no. But they do dowsing rods. I mean, we just go in and feel it out, and then from there, we don't have like a game plan when we're going to like
Go with the flow.
Yeah, we just feel like, hey, I want to do this. Let's try this or something like that, and then that's what we do.
Yeah.
So what would be, ladies, out of any of you ladies, who would say they had probably maybe the most intense, maybe scariest isolation? Did any of you ever have any experience?
She's not left alone. That's
not me.
On an investigation, I really don't get messed with when I'm alone. It seems like so. I'm not gonna. Kelly, you?
I tend to not want to go alone, so I'll try to go alone, and then I'll be sitting there alone, and I'll start to feel like something's there, like I know something's there, and then I get afraid, and I'll run out and I'll go grab one of the other girls and make them come in there with me. I'm a big baby, like I just don't. I don't know what's coming. And I'm one of those, I think part of like my problem is I'm very controlling. So, I like to know what's coming. I'm very methodical. And then when I don't, and I'm not able to control the situation or know what's going to happen, it freaks me out. And so I get scared and I run out and I try to get somebody to come in there with me.
I think that's my thing too, like the anticipation, like waiting for something to happen and then something happening, or I can't be by myself.
I'm by myself, especially like in tours, like because when people take breaks, like at Eloise, I remember sitting down in the basement, just sitting there, and there's like literally banging on the wall all night. It was crazy, and I'm just sitting there like waiting for the next, and I'm like, I'm sitting in the basement of this like crazy place, just drinking my water. Like it's like I don't know. I mean, sometimes I get. It's so weird when I like. Most of the time, I'm fine.
I've seen you scared once.
One
time
at the 6th precinct when I bumped into you.
Oh no, there was another time before that.
Oh yeah, when
we were at what
it was a I don't remember. It was some hidden cemetery.
Yeah, we were at this hidden cemetery, and I was walking behind Heather.
You got a cute kitty too.
I was walking behind Heather, and we went next to these graves, and you could hear knocking from the underneath, like the inside.
So I ran.
Yeah, she took off, and I didn't realize what was happening until she was already far away. So technically, yeah, I was alone. So
she's like, wait for me. And I said, look, I don't do zombies. Like, I'm out of there. Like, it was knocking from the
snow and everything.
It was like, it was knocking. And I was like,
knock.
I'm like, oh, hell no. I was, shh. And James, we are not related, but she is going to be my soon-to-be daughter-in-law in June. So, yeah. So we'll be related, but not yet.
What's on your bucket list, ladies? Is there any places that you really want to go to? I mean, or maybe some of your investigations?
We're going to New Orleans in May, most of the group. So we're excited for that. That's on Melissa's bucket list.
Yeah, I really am excited for that.
I don't know. I mean, I have lots of stuff I want to do. Like my bucket list is I don't know. It's a lot of weird stuff. So Kelly, I know what you're
a lot of my stuff is actually out of the United States. So there's places in Ireland I want to go. I want to actually.
Ireland. Secret James from Ireland.
Oh, is he? Oh,
yeah.
Hi, Secret James from Ireland. I want to go to Ireland. They got a lot of good stuff there. I want to go to the biggest one I want to investigate is Aleister Crowley's. I'm going to put this down. Aleister Crowley. That is my biggest bucket list. If I could ever get into there, I would be so happy. Don't ask me why, because I am terrified. But
what is it? I don't think I've ever heard of it.
You don't know Aleister Crowley? Okay, so Aleister Crowley was a part of the occult, or like the beginning of the occult, and he has this, like temple mansion where a lot of people believe that he designed to be a portal. They've got tons of stuff there. You never heard the song like Mr. Crowley? Down, down, down.
Ozzy.
Ozzy
She's
Osbourne.
She's
Yes. That's okay. That's who he's talking about is Aleister Crowley. So he was really into the occult. He's got a lot of books, a lot of writing. It's just, I just want to go there. That's the biggest one, I think. That and then Dracula, the real Dracula's castle. I want to go there. So all mine are like really huge, like
yes, it does.
Won't happen for another 5 years. You know what I mean? They're going to be expensive ones.
Hey, I'm down with the
Road trip. Let's go.
Yes,
Right?
girl
Yes.
trip. Let's do this.
Absolutely. I mean, and
That's a heck of a plane ride, though. I'm scared. I'm like already ready to freak out when it comes to New Orleans and going on this plane. I don't know. Ireland seems like a very long trip.
Oh yeah, I'm getting a little nervous.
I gotta get used to
I
flying.
don't mind like like driving would be awesome if like we set something
Yeah,
up,
drive
took like a
Ireland.
2-week block. You know what I mean? And then hit state by state by state. You know what I mean? Different places.
Talking about
I
Ireland,
think that
though.
would be an awesome. But not
Yeah,
to Ireland. No, we have to fly there.
We can't drive to Ireland.
Take a
No.
boat, a long boat
A long
ride.
boat ride.
Yeah, the boat ride. I'd rather
Go
drive
with
the
the
plane.
boat. row the boat.
Now, do you guys believe like when you're out there investigating, say you notice maybe you hit like a dead spot, okay? And everything seems to calm down. What do you ladies do to like kind of kick up the energy and get the spirits to like start interacting more with you? What do you guys do?
I get the spirit box louder and I just start talking and try to rile it up a little bit. That's what I do.
Yeah, that is
So I
what you
think
do.
it depends on the location. So if it's something like there's a couple of them, like say Stimson Hospital or even our Port Sanilac, our new location now, there was a doctor there. So I start doing ridiculous things like, hey, doc, we need you in here. This person's coding. Somebody get me epi. You know what I mean? Like to try to rile it up. I bring trigger objects like stethoscopes, things like that.
We're big on
the one portion in the Port Sanilac, it's a church. So interesting because we had this theory when we first investigated it that the spirit or spirits in there liked the music. So we'll start, like I can play the piano, the other team member, they can sing. And we got some really good evidence. Once we get it all together, and it was nothing that we could see at the time. In fact, I thought, I was like, okay, nothing's going on here tonight. Like, you know, and then when I actually started reviewing a lot of the footage yesterday and I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, there's some pretty good stuff. So like those kind of trigger objects that you can, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to put them in choir outfits. I mean, there's a church, a school. I put them in a teacher. I mean, I really like to do this. You know what I mean? Like, let's make it something and bring this out. Let's make them comfortable and feel like, oh, you know, we need to do this, you know, and they got to participate. And we try to, like, that's why I say trigger objects, trigger things is really big.
Playing, you know,
yeah.
I think role playing is a huge one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do what we can to just make it happen. You know, like sometimes you're successful, sometimes you're not, but you know, that's what we do. You know, we're not always going to hit every single time, but I think we're all used to that, you know. But when you do, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Do you find some places the spirits would interact with you more than other locations? Like depending on the location, whether it's a hospital or maybe you're in a jail, prison, or maybe a residential home. Do you guys find you get more interaction with a certain location?
I mean, I guess it all depends. I mean, because it depends on. I mean, we have almost 10. I think 10, 9. Like I said, I'm not good with the numbers. 10, 9 girls. So you know, each girl is going to be sensitive to something. So when we go to a location, there might be something that I don't get. But since it's a hospital and Kelly's a nurse, she might hit on it all night. You know what I mean? So
I actually that comment that he made, I actually have a question about it.
Okay, we got a comment. Go ahead in the thing. She wants to.
So Seeker James put a comment, the lady with the red hair. I'm assuming that's me. He said he sees a lady with the first name letter E. I'm asking, is her name Elizabeth? He's gonna answer that.
He will.
Oh, he will.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that'd be crazy if that is.
Okay, well, we'll wait on that.
Okay.
Oh,
Sorry,
he's-
I was reading it in my head again, and I'm like, okay, wait.
No, for sure. And your hair does look a little red.
It does look red on the camera. It does.
It's a little ginger.
So who decides to pick the locations you guys go to? Do you do a lot of residential cases also?
We don't do a lot. I mean, we have to like know the person. Like the one that we were involved with for so long, the lady is now on our team. Like she became, but I knew her. She went to high school with me, and she was having issues at her house that was completely like we'll release that eventually. Everything that was going on in that house, but it was one of the most active places I've ever seen. So it was a very active place. But as for residentials, I mean, it comes to, I really like to know the person because you never know who's trying to bring you to their house. You know what I mean? And we got to be safe, and keeping everybody in my group safe is like A1 to me. So unless I don't know, if I know the person, then I'll say, yeah, we can go in there, but I'm not going to send girls somewhere that I have no idea who the people are. You don't know nowadays. And I watch a lot of documentaries, so I don't want to be like, making my team a part of one. So we try to, unless we know the person, we don't really do.
Like a murder documentary, is that what you're saying?
It's okay to throw ourselves in there.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. There's a lot of people that, I mean, I've had people hit us up for residentials, and sometimes it just is like,
you just get that feeling like, nah.
And I'll get a feeling, and if the feeling is just really, I try to go with my gut with everything, and if I'm, feeling like this is not what I want to bring them into, then I just won't even, we won't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But we do a lot of just locations. We try to do locations, but we're really big on helping people, with like restoring places. So that's why we also do these tours and everything like that. Our charity stuff, we help the veterans. That's big for us. We get involved with a lot of different projects.
Now, I recall you guys last year around fall, you had this big charity and something about the cornfields. Now, which one of you ladies? Who went into the
mention that earlier because we kept going. We wanted to go to your house.
Yeah.
And go into the field. That was going to be an option.
And I said no, because I was the one going in the cornfield, and I'm terrified of cornfields. And so we raised money for the 6th precinct. And Ed was the owner, Ed Steele of the 6th precinct, was able to put a hot water tank in the 6th precinct. So the hot water running through there is because all the money that was raised, because everybody wanted to see me cry in a cornfield, but it was for a good cause. So I was very happy. I mean, we went with it. Yeah, I was scared, and Kelly will get her payback. But
what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do to Kelly? What's
I don't know. I gotta think of something.
She's gonna make me go into like some room alone. I already know it's gonna happen, and I have to. Like
I know what I'm gonna do. I've been
preparing myself for this. I'm like, I have to do this. I can't continue to be a paranormal investigator and not be alone. Like I have to get over it. I have to do it. So that's gonna be the one that's.
You know what you're gonna do, Tel? And we're saying it now, the Ghost Sisters show. You have to go through an actual haunted attraction by yourself.
Wait a minute. Why do I have to go through it? I'd rather do a real haunted place.
No, it's got to be the jump scares, the clowns. You got to go through. You can take what we'll do, just like I did. If we raise a certain amount of money, you can go with a person.
What happens if I just stop and go no further? And I'm like, I'm not going.
No, you got to make it through the end, just like I had to go in there. I had to go through the cornfield. I think we should hold Kelly to these standards, and she has to go through haunted.
Yeah, after she makes me watch Hell House. Have you guys seen Hell House?
No. Yes.
No,
She
no,
just
no.
made me watch Hell House and is now,
That's
you
why I
gotta go
picked
through them. I'm going to be the one who's like slashing my own throat. Like,
Oh,
No, you're gonna go through we're gonna go to Erebus, and you gotta go through Erebus.
no, I can't do that because they have this thing. I actually went there with people before, and they have this thing that you walk through that's supposed to make you feel like you're suffocating. Well, for people who are really tall, it's not that bad. For people who are really short, you are actually, I won't do it.
Okay,
That
fine,
part
I'll
alone.
I'll find you another one.
Yeah, it doesn't make me feel like I'm suffocating. I'm not going
Okay,
through
but
that.
we're not
That's
doing
horrible.
like some like bubble gum, hayride. Like no,
I don't know. I think you got a bubble gum cornfield out of that whole deal.
I kind of did.
Yeah.
I kind of did. We'll have to find
Okay,
it.
I'll make you a deal. I will do a not bubble gum if you go to Mandy's house and go through her cornfield.
Why do I gotta go back in a cornfield? I already did a cornfield.
We did a corn maze. You did do a
You
corn
did
field.
It was a scary corn maze.
oh, that's great.
We'll figure it out.
Cornfields.
We'll set
Yeah,
it up for this when the corn starts coming out. Maybe I'll go to Mandy's, but we'd have to raise a good portion of money for you to throw me back into something. And we'll have to find who we're going to raise it for this time. We'll
That
have
is
to get
hilarious.
a charity that we can help, and definitely we'll do another. We'll do another challenge. Come when does corn freaking grow, guys? Like what?
Right now.
Yeah.
It's growing. It's being planted and growing soon. Yes.
Oh,
They are spooky Secret James. I know. I hate going in them. They freak me out. But yeah, we'll find a charity and we'll do another charity event where Kelly's gonna go first, and then if she makes it, we'll talk.
No, we will go to Mandy's. You guys are in Ohio, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we can find a haunted house
she's already
of their choosing. Or I will go through that, and then you will go through Mandy's field.
Okay, then you guys choose a haunted house. Make sure it's a good one. Fine. Let's find a charity. We'll have to find a charity, and then we'll do that all over again.
All right. Sounds good.
Oh my, that would be
Good
awesome.
gravy. Oh, okay, so we'll set that up again. See, ladies, I come on the show, I'm relaxing, and now I'm back in a damn cornfield.
But you know what though? It's funny because Kelly,
We'll take you guys. We'll take you guys to a shrine, and you can be all in bamboo.
oh,
Oh boy.
there we go. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
What are you putting me into? I'm all shaking my head, but I'm like, wait a second, what am I
Feel
agreeing
like a
to?
panda.
What am I agreeing to?
I'm telling you, ladies, that shrine is like no other. And
Let's
the
set it up. Let's set it
the spirits, they feed off of that fear, Kelly. So it's interesting that you would be an amazing trigger object. Just that fear. Oh yeah, trust me, I know because I'm low it's like, oh my God. And I feel them coming up on me. And that's when you get the best. You get some of the best stuff.
And that's in Tennessee, right?
It's in Bristol, Tennessee. Yes.
Let's set that up soon because I was thinking about that too. Like, I really want to go to that place because you guys have said some awesome stuff about it. I may hate that decision, but I may love it.
We will be there next weekend filming. And we were just there a couple weekends ago, and it's an amazing place. You ladies will love it. And you'll be like, oh my gosh. Because I'm telling you, the energy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Bamboo is just as bad as cornfields. That's awesome, Dawn. Oh gosh,
yes.
Lord.
But ladies, it has been an awesome hour with you guys.
Yeah, that was really nice meeting you guys.
Yeah.
Well, it was nice to see you, Kelly, because I didn't get to see your face. We were on the radio talk thing you guys had, the radio.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So we didn't get to see each other. And Calista, I never got to meet you either, but I've seen pictures. Heather's constantly posting pictures, so that's awesome too. But before we go, do you guys have an investigation come real quick? You want to yell out there to let everyone know to watch you guys on or anything?
We're always doing stuff. I mean, our next thing is we're going to be in New Orleans, so everybody can watch. We're going to definitely do a lot of lives in New Orleans and try to share our whole experience with everybody while we're there. Yeah, so you'll see a lot of lives. We're super excited to go to New Orleans, and then, plenty of stuff throughout the year. So it's just, follow Chics and Spirits. Stay spooky with Chics and Spirits podcast page. We're on Tuesday nights at 7:00, and hopefully we'll have you guys on with us. And our show, Stay Spooky Now, is more of a topic-based show. So when we bring our guests on, we always give you guys a little topic to research, and then we come back and we share all the stories. Like right now, we're on a serial killer run, so we're talking all types of different stories, and our guests research, and we just share back the stories that we come up with. So it's really a good time. So we'd like to have you guys on too if you want to research with us.
Yes.
Great.
Let us know, and we'll set this up.
All right.
So,
Thank you.
guys. Thank you guys for tuning in.
You guys.
Keep in
Yes,
touch with
always a pleasure.
keep us in touch with us, and we'll set something up for a shrine.
Sounds
Yes.
wonderful. You ladies
Okay.
have a great night. Thank you for
Thank
having
you
us
too.
on.
Woman power.
Bye.
Girl power. Girl power.
Girl power.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.